Friday night greetings from the birthplace of pro baseball, Cincinnati. And on a cool and rainy night, a couple of undefeated ball clubs as the Cincinnati Reds play host to the Pirates. And welcome into the booth, Joe Block along with John Wehner. Glad to have you along here with us here tonight. And it is cool and rainy here, but there are two hot teams so far in the NL Central. And with the Reds, of course, coming in, and they came off of a sweep. The Pirates with that great sweep against the Cardinals. But this is a Cincinnati ball club, not expected to do very much, but you can't overlook them either.
Yeah, you got to love the way the Pirates came out and started the season against the St. Louis Cardinals. They played well. They pitched great. They got on base. They scored runs. But these Reds, they like playing the Pirates and didn't have much trouble. Disappointing season for the Reds, but they beat the Pirates 11 of the 19 games. The Pirates overall against the Central struggled, but these Reds are still very capable. They have a strong offensive club. They're pitching to be determined how strong they're going to be off the mound, but this team can come out and beat you.
Now, the Reds have sustained a lot of injuries to their starting rotation, but Francisco Liriano getting the nod tonight, as he did on opening day. Can he match the magic? It's the Pirates and the Reds coming up next here on Root Sports. To get started tonight, Pirates are 3-0 after sweeping the Cardinals. Reds are 3-0. Friday night here in Cincinnati, and Francisco Liriano was sensational on opening day.
Was he ever? What a good way to start for Frankie. He had the fastball command, locked some guys up with that fastball, worked it in and out, and then the changeup and the slider. I mean, it's as good as anybody in baseball. The way he can get the guys to swing and miss off his secondary pitches. A great start, hoping for another one tonight.
And he'll be opposed by Alfredo Simon, who we saw in Indianapolis last time around.
Yeah, a little shaky last week in Indy in that last preseason warm-up. And Simon can be, a little inconsistent. 13 wins, 12 losses last year, a 5.05 ERA, but strong in the early months, 8.2, 2.34 ERA, and okay against the Pirates. But he's capable. 15 wins 2 years ago for these Reds.
Now let's go back to the studios. Rob King's got a game break for us. Hi, Rob.
hopes that bridge tonight. Time is growing near. PNC on a Friday night with family down here. Here we go on Friday. Let's get it done on a Friday night. Pittsburgh on Friday, it's what we do.
Rocking on a Friday night to the Common Heart. And here in Cincinnati, the hometown Josh Harrison leading the charge, trying to have some fun on a wet and cool night here in Cincinnati. Hey, they're 3-0. Let's try to make it 4 tonight, as John Jaso will lead things off. It's 41 degrees here. We just had sleet a moment ago. And it's going to be a challenge out there, I think, for everybody, because I think we're going to get some intermittent little pop-up showers here and there tonight.
Yes, it's going to be off and on, I believe, for foreseeable future. Alfredo Simon gets the start. Veteran back with the Reds after a year with the Detroit Tigers. 13-12. We showed you a moment ago. ERA over 5. Simon. Fastball split mostly. We'll mix in a curveball and a cutter occasionally. And already John Jaso gets ahead in the count.
Here's the 3-1 from Simon. And Jaso gets on base. Here's the rest of the lineup tonight. It'll be McCutchen coming up, then David Freese batting third. Marte, Cervelli, and Polanco. And Harrison, Mercer, and Liriano. The same lineup we have seen in each of the 4 games from Clint Hurdle. And McCutchen, at least through that first series and that sweep against the Cardinals, got off to a great start. 455. The Pirates doing so in that sweep without a home run.
Well, they'll hit their share of home runs this year. There's no question about that, especially this guy, Andrew McCutchen. But like almost to the man, they'll tell you they're not really home run hitters. These guys are just hitters that'll occasionally get one up.
Hit in the air to center. Hamilton with room. That's the first out.
Yeah. Had to love the way they went about their business that opening series. You know,
great at bats.
Yeah, great at bats, grinding them out and not chasing, taking their walks, looking for their pitch to hit, and not swinging unless they get it. That's going to create a lot of opportunities for this offense, and it created a bunch against a very good St. Louis Cardinals pitching staff.
Now the Cardinals are one of the best pitching outputs last year in recent times. David Freese had a good series, hitting .357 now. Yeah, just kind of going through that order, avoiding outs, trying to get aboard. Not necessarily taking pitches, but if you don't get a good one, don't necessarily offer at it. It was really inspiring. The pitch. Ouch. Right between the 2 and the 3. That's going to be probably a problem for pitchers tonight to really keep that grip, huh?
Well, yeah, we'll see. This is nothing new between these two teams. Yeah, they maybe got them in the back of the arm, maybe the back, maybe both. But these two teams pitch in a lot, and so they hit a lot of their opponents. And there's been some bad blood between these two clubs over the last number of years.
Hey, it's nothing personal. Hey, you got to come inside.
At times it's been personal.
Well, and it does escalate, yes. At first, at least. Here's Starling Marte. 2 for 11 start.
Fastball at 92. Had a little cut action at the end. Ran away from the bat of Marte.
2 on, 1 out. And now even on Marte. Now, we talked about it in the open. You know, the Reds are off to a 3-0 start too, and so you know you don't want to take them for granted. I don't think any team does that in Major League Baseball, but you know the Reds, I think this is a nice start for them considering the rebuilding project that they've brought in. Here's the pitch.
Well, you figure they started 4-0 last year and still had a miserable year, but again the offense is capable of scoring runs. Jay Bruce is off to a good start. He had a nice opening series against the Phils. Now the Phils rebuilding as well. Don't know exactly how good their pitching is. Since he didn't think it was very good, as they scored 19 runs first 3 games of the season against them.
2-1 from Simon. Big rip.
Helped them a little bit. Pitch upstairs.
Yeah, the Reds trading away Todd Frazier. But they kept Jay Bruce, at least for now. You know, the veterans, you never know if they're going to be on the move or not. But there's Bruce. Brandon Phillips also thought to be on the move, rumored in the offseason, but they're here. Well, still many of the same guys intact. Marte got a piece of that. Still 2-2.
Marte chasing a couple of pitches now. And this at bat, that pitch looked like just a sinker. And now they're saying he didn't foul it off.
Okay. Well, it was signaled by Hal Gibson. I believe that's not Hal Gibson, I beg your pardon. But home plate umpire. So there's 2 gone, and now Francisco Cervelli is coming up. There's Joe West, the crew chief. Here's Cervelli. That one's down low for ball 1. Cervelli with a nice series. 364 with 3 RBIs.
Again, another guy that just doesn't give away at bats. He's going to make you work, especially up until 2 strikes. He's not going to swing until he sees a pitch that he likes. So he'll take a pitch like that for a strike because it's not what he was looking for.
And that big 2-run double to extend the Pirates' lead in the 3rd game of the series. 2 on, 2 out. And now 2-1. Let's look at our RAV4 lineup for tonight, and it's been the same for all 4 games so far. And that has been a nice looking 9 for the Pirates so far. Consistently moving through the order without I have to look back. I don't remember too many 1, 2, 3 innings. Early here to Bruce in right. 2 left for the Buccos. The Reds coming to bat here in the 1st inning. Reds coming to bat here in the bottom of the first. Looking at our Honda lineup for tonight, and the Cincinnati's with Zach Cozart back from injury. Joey Votto, the perennial all-star and MVP candidate. And Devin Mesoraco back after that hip surgery last year. Jay Bruce slides down to the 6th spot tonight. And they'll bat the pitcher 8th with Billy Hamilton sliding in the 9 spot now. Ryan Price wants his on base to get up. And the man trying to prevent it, Francisco Liriano.
Now the ace for the Pirates. The Hyundai numbers for Francisco. Pretty good outing. Just 3 hits in 6 innings. He did walk 5, and but he did strike out 10. And that's the one thing about Liriano is, he has all that movement on not only just his fastball, but his changeup, his slider. And so he will get the swings and misses and pitches that are out of the zone or in the dirt. But certain guys are able to take and lay off and recognize. And so he will walk guys from time to time. Ray Searage looking on, expecting, I'm sure, another gem from Frankie.
It was really, really sharp early, and then the command wavered a little bit, but still got his way out of jams. Here's Zach Cozart. And that bunt will roll foul.
Hopefully. Wow, good play, Jay Hay. Wow. You can't just let the ball roll. That was headed back into fair territory. Jaso gave up on it. Liriano gave up on it. Jay Hay saved the day.
That's one of those things, if you've played first base forever, maybe you've seen it before, but Jason not used to that.
And normally that's the first thing you do. You run over there and you just knock it and just glove it and knock it into foul ground even further. But you watch here, Frankie puts his head down. That ball's 2 more rotations. That's on the white chalk.
And with Cozart standing at first base, he would have had the most improbable of bunt hits. Good heads up baseball. He is a really heady first series. A lot of productive outs and some hits as well. And another good play right there from the hometown kid. Well, the Reds, we talk about all their injuries. They finally got some guys back with Cozart. Hamilton had some surgery in the offseason, Mesoraco, and then now they've got 5 of their starting pitchers on the DL.
Yeah, isn't that something? That's hard to deal with.
Ryan Price navigating through some rough waters to begin the year, but 3-0. Right to Freeze. And Cozart gone to start the Reds' first inning. Let's look at our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, for Liriano, I think it's always a key that he can get ahead and get them swinging, get them to chase that breaking ball that breaks out of the zone, that changeup that dives out of the zone, and offensively continue to crowd the bases. We already saw it there in the first inning, a walk, a hit batter, 2 guys on. You keep creating opportunities by crowding the bases, you're going to score.
And a strike to Eugenio Suarez, a couple of home runs in that opening series. Good looking offensive player.
Well, that's the one thing I guess you could say was a plus after losing Zach Cozart last year. They found out what Suarez is capable of doing. Had a nice year in 2015.
And he's got himself another base hit. Trying to stay warm. So the Reds with a base runner here. And look at the Honda defense for the Pirates. And their typical 8 that we've seen. Gregory Polanco manning right field tonight, along with Marte and McCutchen. Freese, Mercer, Harrison, Jaso around the diamond. Cervelli catching as he has each of the games so far. A couple of off days built into that first week, so you can kind of let your regulars go out there with no concerns. No big deal.
Yeah.
Here's Joey Votto. In that number 3 spot, the Reds experimented with him as the number 2 hitter for some time, but no Todd Frazier anymore. Got to try to keep that middle of the order, I guess, little bit more plump with good hitters. And now 2-0.
We talked about Pirate hitters and working counts and not chasing out of the zone. This guy, as good an eye as anybody. Very tough out. Even tougher to strike out.
There's a cut and a miss. And Votto, one of the fine hitters of this generation, really.
You saw even with his practice swing, he's always like looking to stay inside the ball. Hits a lot of balls the other way. I don't see him pulling fastballs very often. It's almost like his approach is to hit the fastball the other way and pull the off-speed stuff.
Try to go away there. And 3 balls and a strike. Look at this. The last second half of the season there, how many times you got on base? No Red had ever done that since the All-Star game started in 1933.
That's amazing.
Runner goes. There's a strike. And that one is going to allow Suarez to get to third. The throw is way offline towards second.
I'm guessing Cervelli didn't have a very good grip on that ball. Sometimes that happens when there's a quick exchange. You don't feel the seams, or you don't have the greatest grip, because you can see there that ball good 10-12 feet on the first base side of second base. And then you see there looking at his hand.
And it's very cold, and occasional raindrops and even sleet when the managers were exchanging the lineup cards tonight. So raw conditions. Votto's going to get the run home. And the Reds will open with a 1-0 lead.
Good job by Votto with the infield back, bringing home that run from third with 1 out. Great play by Jay Hay. Josh Harrison wasn't playing too deep. No real shift there with Votto, but Jay Hay able to move quickly to his left, dive on that wet grass. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go in and change first chance he gets. It's cold and wet.
Phillips with a drive to center and deep, and this one is gone. First home run of the year for Brandon Phillips, and the Reds double their lead. It's 2-0. And that one just got too much of the middle of the plate.
Yeah, I don't believe it was a fastball. Perhaps the changeup or the slider, and it was up. Now that was the fastball. 90 miles per hour, but yeah, that's belt high, outer third, and just enough distance as it hits the top of that center field wall.
Jay Bruce. So Phillips, first run batted in of the year, first hit of the year for Phillips. And now 2-0. Well, we saw Simon walk a batter and hit a batter in his first inning. And it looks like command is going to be a challenge. That one's inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And Mesoraco takes a strike.
Early on, obviously it's cold out and maybe just warming up. Liriano, seeing these fastballs 89, 90 miles per hour. There's one at 92, just missed in off the plate. And
now Bruce, who He had a couple of home runs and drove in 5 yesterday. Well, when a team starts off maybe with low expectations and they get a 3-0 start, does that start to change the mindset of a club even just after 3 games? Or do they not even think about it to begin with?
I think any team that's coming out of spring training and starting a season, I mean, you'll hear all the media project this or project that as you see that breaking ball. Bruce getting out of the way. That pitch is on the plate but up. But these guys come out of spring training. They're big league hitters, they're big league players, and they expect to win regardless of what is expected, or if they're feeling like they're in the middle of a rebuild or whatever the case may be. All 30 teams come out of spring training expecting to win baseball games, and so certainly you want to get off to a good start. Anytime you can get a sweep the first series of the year, feeling pretty good about yourselves, and you just hope that just keep playing good ball and never know what's going to happen.
See if Liriano can regather his control here. There's a foul. And Phillips said his eyes were as big as the Licking River, which takes a meandering route around Great American Ballpark. Good slider from Liriano. Got the shift on for Bruce, as most teams do. 3 on the right side. Guides this one into deep right center, but McCutchen has room. And the Reds strike for a couple in the first inning. We're through 1 from Great American Ballpark. 2-0.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network. Health for all. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partners of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Visit bordaslaw.com. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Second inning coming up. And the Bucco faithful here in Cincinnati tonight. Brandon Phillips with a home run after his bout with the flu is through, and it's 2-0 Reds. Gregory Polanco will start things. He had a great series too against the Cardinals. 3 out of 7 with 5 walks.
Nice to see Polanco off to the good start. that ball comes off his bat like a rocket when he centers it up.
And he is bundled up tonight. Temperatures in the low 40s to start. And we'll probably get an intermittent shower. And I think that might have been a little sleet or something we saw just before game time.
Radar showing snow just north and west of here.
Polanco down on 3 pitches. Yeah, there was definitely some. Oh, there's a little hail on our Allegheny Health Network Supermo. That's not fun.
Well, the guys seem to be having fun. I mean, that's about the time the dancing was going on, and
led by this guy. He's plenty used to it, having grown up here. Harrison leading the charge. 273, good start, and like I said, made a lot of productive outs in that series.
yeah, I tell you, he just plays the game the right way, has fun while doing it, obviously there, and yeah, like J.A. almost like, come on, bring it.
Banging on the Gatorade.
Sleet, snow, he doesn't care. But yeah, he so many good at bats, moving runners, getting runners home, whatever it takes. J.A. will do it, or at least attempt to.
Stays alive. And Josh Harrison, the Cincinnati Bearcat, went to Princeton High School here. Two. And Cozart able to snare that liner.
And he's had quite a few of those too. Atom balls, some hard hit balls. Another line drive there. He had the line drive, the big play by Mike Leake on a line drive in that St. Louis series. Cozart times that one nicely. Ball looked like it had a little hook to it.
And they're glad to have him back. Zach Cozart last year slipping on first base. It tore tendons in his right knee and was out from mid-June on. Bad news for the Cubs tonight too. Very similar news. Jordy Mercer takes down an in. Kyle Schwarber, their left fielder, part-time catcher. As we heard from Rob King in our game break earlier, that fully torn ACL and LCL ligaments in that left knee and a severely sprained ankle. And Jordy Mercer is going to pick up a base hit. So Schwarber's going to miss the rest of the season for the Cubs.
Yeah, that's a big blow to the Cubs. I mean, they still have plenty of offense. I mean, it's a very talented team, and they got guys that can hit for power, average. They're going to score some runs, and Schwarber was a big part of their success a year ago. And Jordy Mercer picking up the first Pirates hit here, and that could have got ugly for the Reds. Jay Bruce charging that aggressively, and just kind of had to go in emergency mode, keep that ball from getting by him. A little in between hop with the wet grass, could skip, but he was able to keep it from getting by him. But if that gets by him, Mercer getting to at least third.
And now Francisco Liriano, who drove in the first run of the baseball year. And there's a base hit down into the right field corner. Mercer around second. He's going to be waved home, and the throw will come in late. Liriano at it again with a double, and the Pirates are on the board. It's 2-1.
That is absolutely huge right there. Liriano is no longer, or never, he's not an out. You just can't throw a fastball in there and think that he's going to take it or not be able to hit it hard. And boy, that's a big hit. He was up there and he was looking for something firm. He got a fastball in, turns on it, perfectly placed down that line. And once it gets into the corner, you know Mercer going off the bat would be able to score.
Caliente. He's been hot on this cold night. And now John Jaso with a chance to drive him in with 2 outs. 2-1 now. Well, that's what's fun about this lineup. Now, I know you don't expect anything from the pitcher, and you know there's going to be plenty of nights where Liriano's not going to get a hit, of course, or may not even be in a position to swing the bat. But it's just, 4 games into the season, that's kind of been what we've seen. Kind of quick couple of outs and then a little something going, or good at bats, kind of prolong the inning, even on an inning where they don't score.
Yeah, and you would hear it a lot of times. I remember former managers would say, when a pitcher was up there and runners are on base, hey, don't just lay it in there, bear it down, make sure you make a good pitch. Certain pitchers that can swing the bat a little bit, you just can't lay it in there. And Jeff Branson, they work with the pitchers as well. The pitchers get their swings in. Not a ton of at bats for the Pirates pitchers this spring, but we've seen it in the past where they got them quality work. They still get quality work in the cage, not as much reps as maybe some of them would want in spring training, but Liriano just goes up there, looks for a pitch, and lets it go.
Jaso just gets a piece of it. Garrett Cole.
He likes to hit.
Yeah. We're going to see Garrett Cole tomorrow. Will make his season debut. Jeff Locke will make his season debut on Sunday here in Cincy. Day action. In fact, the next 4 games will all be 110 starts. Jaso down on strikes, but Francisco Liriano gets one back with his 2-out RBI double. Now it's 2-1.
Do it on the mound, and he can also do it on the bat here at Great American Ballpark, as we saw last inning. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. Well, Francisco Liriano singled in the first run of the Major League Baseball season and got the Buccos on the board, and he also made a little bit of history along the way. Liriano was the first pitcher to drive in the first run of any Major League Baseball season since Don Gullett did it with the Cincinnati Reds That was back in 1973. Now, this is according to the Elias Sports Bureau. Gold was also the Reds pitching coach from 93 to 2005. Now, the last pitcher to knock in the first Pirates run of a season was Oliver Perez back in 2006. And get this, Rock and Block, Liriano, one of the best, better hitting pitchers in baseball. He's batting .313 over his last 14 starts with a homer and 9 RBIs. Now, when Liriano was signed by the Giants out of the Dominican Republic in 2000, you might remember, he was signed as a center fielder, not as a pitcher. So people that have known Francisco Liriano's history knows this guy could swing a good bat.
That's some good stuff. Yeah, add that double to that, and man, he's really been on a hot streak. I mean, it's not, you know, when you say, I guess that's now 11 for 33. That's not just good hitting for a pitcher. That's just good hitting.
Oh, yeah. It's great hitting.
3-3-3. Adam Duvall takes up high.
Always helps when the pitcher can be a contributor to the offense, whether it be getting a bunt down, just seeing a bunch of pitches, maybe put a ball in play, move a guy, you know, the little things. Once you get a hit or an RBI, I mean, that's just a bonus.
And you know, these guys talk a little bit. They've got their pride amongst the pitchers.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 hits and 2 RBIs already. Let's see what you guys can do. Now 3 balls and a strike. Go to your hands here tonight. There's Simon out on deck. He's the 8 hitter for Brian Price's Reds. Just missed that one. Yeah, you can go to your mouth tonight. It's plenty cold enough for that. Umpire's allowing that. Joe West, the crew chief. Mistaken, this is his 39th year as a full-time ump, and he gets Duvall with his first strikeout for Liriano.
It doesn't matter what the count. 3-1. He didn't come at Duvall with a fastball, a slider. 3-2, another slider. Starts it on the middle inner half of the plate and has it run. Good run, late break. Duvall did not pick up the speed or spin.
And now Simon, 107 in his career.
You look at Liriano last year in terms of the 3 pitches he throws: changeup, fastball, slider. He has a greater percentage of strikes from the changeup and slider than he does the fastball. Now, obviously, a lot of those are because of the chases, and it doesn't necessarily mean the pitch ends up in the strike zone, but gets so many swings and misses. So, you know, why not use the secondary pitches in any count?
Racking up his 1400th career strikeout. I use the fastball to set up those pitches, right? I mean, that's the concept. There's another.
Yeah, at times, you know, and that's one thing we've seen with Liriano, where he will throw in a little bit more with the fastball set up early, but you know, there's times he'll start you off slow.
And fireworks light up the sky next Saturday at PNC Park. Watch the Pirates take on the Brewers at 7:05 and stay after the game for a spectacular Zambelli fireworks show presented by First Energy. For tickets, go to pirates.com. Really great to be back home. Already miss it. First road game of the season here in Cincinnati. Chilly night here. Hamilton with a good bunt. And a great play by Harrison to get the speedster out.
That's a great play. You very rarely see it at the big league level, but that was perfectly defensed. The only way you're going to get them out.
2-1 Reds. lead.
Watch Josh Harrison here on this replay taking away this bunt base hit from Hamilton. Watch him cheat in, anticipating Hamilton with the push bunt. I've been waiting for years to see somebody do this. Whereas a lot of times you'll see that right-hander push bunt against a left-handed pitcher, and no, there's nothing you could do about that. That's just a perfect bunt. No, you could do something about it by having your second baseman come in and kind of take it away like you do a third baseman. You know, you have a third baseman say, hey, take away the bunt. He's in on the grass or in front of the bag. Well, if the second baseman's staying back, Billy Hamilton bunts that ball. If Josh Harrison doesn't cheat and come in and take it away, it's a base hit all day. That's a heck of a play by Jay. I mean, and there's communication too. He's obviously telling first baseman John Jaso, hey, if it's bunted hard, I got it. Okay, if you know, and so Jaso, you notice, did not go after it. He stayed home and covered the bag. A lot of times you get confusion there with the first baseman, second baseman, pitcher all go after it. The guy with Hamilton's speed, he beats everybody in the bag. But obviously Jay Hay said, hey, if it's bunted hard by the pitcher, I'm taking the ball. You stay at the bag.
1-1 on McCutchen. And especially with a guy at first base in Jaso who's, you know, still learning over there. I mean, that terrific communication.
And then there's times where, you know, you'll have that guy that'll bunt it maybe softly right down the bag or right down the line where the first baseman has to vacate. And that's another situation where, as a second baseman, when you have and you anticipate that speedy guy has to get to the bag, has to beat the runner to the bag. And the only way you're going to do that is if you anticipate it. You're cheating, as you saw Josh Harrison cheating in as Liriano, and he baited Hamilton into bunting that. Because that when you're a right-handed batter and you're going to try to push bunt, that your read is on the second baseman. You think, oh, all I have to do is get it by the pitcher. I got a base hit. Well, that's why Josh Harrison stayed back and then cheated in as Liriano was delivering.
Now 2-2. Yeah, because he wasn't in position before the pitch, but by the time the pitch was there, he was.
Yeah, it's just
some cunning.
Yeah. And you see that with third basemen a lot of time. You know, they'll start back on a guy that's known to drag bunt, and then they'll creep in, especially a right-handed batter that can't see over there.
2-2. Fouled off again.
You'll see some third basemen play a lot of cat and mouse. They'll start in, then they'll start backpedaling back as the ball's being delivered to give themselves more range, or they'll start behind the bag and creep in, trying to bait that bunt.
Bunt baiting.
Bunt baiting.
Another 2-2. And McCutchen strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Simon.
Looks like the guys are picking it up a little bit late. The first we saw it was Marte in the first. We don't see Andrew McCutchen swing and miss at that ever. 93 middle of the plate. And we saw some awkward swings from Jaso. I mentioned Marte. I just think they're not picking it up well, and the ball's getting on them.
Trying to make some adjustments. Simon has been a good pitcher. Just last year ran into trouble in Detroit, but now back with the Reds, where he's had his best success in the big leagues. An all-star a couple of years ago.
And again, he could be hit and miss. Last year faced the Pirates twice. Got the decision on a 1-0 win in April at PNC. And he allowed a career-high 15 hits and a loss in July.
That's hit or miss.
Up in Detroit.
Now 2-1 on David Freese. Hit with a pitch back in the first. Yeah, the Reds needed to sign him. Everybody on the DL. Literally 5 starting pitchers on the disabled list, most of whom will probably be back, I guess, once Homer Bailey's back, maybe late May or June. They should have all 5 back, but they needed some anchors in there. Dick Williams, the general manager, Walt Jocketty, now in a senior advisory role. And another strikeout for Simon. And he is just unfurling a fastball and trying to see if these guys can hit it. And the Bucks are back, and so are Free Shirt Fridays. Next Friday, the Bucks take on the Brewers at 7:05. One of the first 20,000 fans, if you're one of them, you'll receive a free Pirates t-shirt presented by Point Park University. And for tickets, go to pirates.com/Free Shirt Friday. That's a nice looking one. Starling Marte, a good looking model for it, though. And coincidentally, the batter. Nicely done. The magic of television.
What a coincidence.
Strikeout victim back in the first.
Where we just had it, two outs. Just talking about third baseman playing games. Suarez at third. I anticipate Marte bunting with 2 outs, but was even with the bag and then started creeping back. And Marte, and we're getting late swings off of off-speed pitches from Simon, which means again just not picking it up. That pitch at 84, Marte not only missed it, he was late, not out in front but behind it.
A little twilight here. Cozart's going to have to hurry, and he would have beaten it anyway, and it goes into the seats. Marte will end up at second. Should be a base hit, and a throwing error on Cozart.
Good hustle again, Marte. Much easier to get down the line when you're reaching out over the plate to make contact. Kind of an emergency swing. Swung at a pitch down and away off the end of the bat. Cozart, very tough play. Better off eating the ball, not throwing it there. As you see there, Marte with that great speed. And again, he's out of the box as soon as he makes contact because he reaches for the ball. Down and off the plate.
Looks like a burglar with that that mask on.
Yeah, well, stole a base hit there.
Yeah.
And you know he's feeling it because again, up until that little ground ball, some awkward swings from Starling.
Can't even see the big grin after getting on at second base. You ever wear one of those when it got cold out?
No. Maybe as a kid.
Yeah, they've got those now. It's nice that they have them for the ball players. Take a look at our Barrel League leaders for tonight, and now look at what these two teams have done with opponents with runners in scoring position.
Pretty good stuff. You know, you look at a team's ERA, a lot of it has to do with this. And again, other teams will get opportunities. It's shutting the inning down when they get those opportunities.
Yeah, the Phillies 1 for 19 in that 3-game series, and the Cardinals 3 for 24.
Yeah, and that's a Cardinals team 2 years ago hit over 300 as a team with runners in scoring position.
Set an all-time record. Let's see if Cervelli can come up with a big hit with 2 outs.
Borderline pitch. Cervelli didn't like it. Take a look at the WB Mason strike zone. Borderline pitch, a little bit off. Simon gets the call. Andy Fletcher, veteran behind the plate.
Now 3-1. Gregory Polanco would be next.
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, pitcher's probably got the best spot, right? Because he's always moving.
Yeah, pitcher, catcher, you'd think still fairly warm.
3-1. Suarez with trouble, and he still recovered in time to get the out.
Wow.
And Suarez, the shortstop last year, a little problems over there, but he gets Cervelli to end the threat. Great sights and sounds at Supermo, presented by Allegheny Health Network. On Friday Night Rocks, put some plastic on your head and enjoy with us at home.
Is that Jeff Locke's brother?
It's starting to rain here. I don't know if it's rain or sleet or it's a little bit of everything.
It's swirling. It's nasty. And this is the time you don't want to be on defense because it's miserable. It's so cold out there. There you see it.
There it is. A little sleet coming down. Joe West has seen a few of these. He's umpired almost 5,000 games. Here's the 1-1. Now the thing is, if you're saying, well, why the heck are they not pulling the tarp right now? The radar is showing that it's going to be on and off all night, and we saw this right as the managers were exchanging lineup cards, and then a minute later it was sunny.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty when they were exchanging the lineup cards, and we're watching. Nobody was. They finally went towards the tarp, but thought maybe we'd have a delay, but see it bouncing off Liriano.
And just like that, it's lightening up again. That's going to be a base hit for Cozart.
Reach out. Did Cozart. Hit it just hard enough, just far enough to Mercer's right. Would have been a tough play. Mercer with all his momentum going that way to try to plant on that wet grass and throw across. I don't think he could have got Cozart even if he was able to glove it.
Now Suarez. Now Suarez has the face mask on, but he peels it off for when he's at the plate. Just missed on that one, and it's 0-2. Beg your pardon, 1 strike.
Dangerous guy. Don't want to make mistakes like a lot of these Reds hitters. In this tiny little ballpark, do something up out over the plate. You could reach the seats in a hurry.
Good stop by Cervelli. Now this ballpark very inviting, especially for left-handed hitters.
By Cervelli getting the glove down, keeping the ball in front.
No easy chore with that good slider from Liriano. This one will make it into the seats. Hey, if you're going to come on a cold night and you got to wear plastic, you might as well get a souvenir. Put on that poncho. This is clearly a night where everybody who's here are among the best baseball fans in America, right?
Tell you what, I mean, I have the utmost respect for fans that come out and watch games in these conditions. You come to expect it, I guess, if they were playing down the street, Bengals. But yeah, this is
one
baseball.
way to stay warm.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you have to come prepared like it is. December or January. That cold, wet rain and wind.
I would hate to be the ice cream vendor tonight.
Trade in the ice cream for hot chocolate. Might do a little better.
You know, one way to show your fanship and stay warm and dry at the same time. One guy didn't get the memo. Now, why didn't he sit on the other side? Would that be? Or in between them, he could nuzzle better that way. Now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Liriano was able to get through the order in the second after the 2-run first. And you don't like to have men on for Joey Votto. Already 1 aboard. 3-2. And he's going to have 2 men on.
Yeah, these guys are picking it up a little better than the Cardinals in Liriano's opening day start. Getting more swings and misses at the soft stuff out of the zone. You know, that slider right there from Liriano, you know, you see it was obviously down and out of the zone, but I think it was on purpose. He gets so many swings at those pitches. You know, guys that don't pick it up, looks like a strike, darts down and out of the zone. He gets a ton of swings and misses at that pitch.
Now Votto with 2 men on and nobody out.
Like that. And Votto perhaps guessing, frustrated.
You don't see Votto swing and miss very often. He chokes up on the bat. You don't see a lot of power hitters choke up on the bat.
No.
Not these days.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, he'll get 4 or 5 inches off the knob, above the knob.
Still hit 29 home runs last year. See that? Choking up. That's what that means. Leaving a little bat below the hands.
Barry Bonds choke up. I think he pretty much choked up on the bat his entire career. At least an inch or so, anyhow.
Get more back control that way?
I suppose. You know, for some it's more comfortable. Some guys it's uncomfortable. But yeah, you should be able to control the barrel better that way.
Now the 2-1. Inside, it's 3-1 on Votto. Liriano in danger of loading the bases. Man who hit the home run back in the first, Brandon Phillips, is on deck. The pitch. And now they're full. And Cervelli out with a chat. Phillips, who had been battling the flu, doubled the Reds' lead.
Just enough distance. Fastball pretty much center cut. Good man to double up. You can make a pitch and have him hit it on the ground.
And the Pirates will do that. They'll trade 2 outs for the run here. Liriano has thrown almost as many balls as strikes, which is actually not that far different than last time around in his first start. But now Ray Searage will come out. Like you said, Rock, I mean, the Cardinals would chase, and the Reds are being very patient.
You know, the time that Liriano has been a Pirate. It's been pretty remarkable how good he's been, and with Liriano, and but you see the changeup, you see the breaking ball, and you wonder, in the division especially, that if the guys that have seen him 5, 6, 7 times, that will they continue to chase? Will they be able to lay off? And the Reds are doing a pretty good job of that tonight, so far at least. You see Pirates with activity. Lefty Lupke up in the pen, but the Reds seem to be making an adjustment, and whether they're telling themselves, well, make them elevate, look for the ball about belt high, that way you won't chase the pitch down out of the zone, who knows, or maybe it doesn't have the downward tilt that he has most nights. But it has been remarkable, how he continues to get the swings and misses despite facing teams numerous times.
Phillips drives this one to center, but McCutchen with room. And they'll get the run in as Cozart scores. It's 3-1.
And that's not all that bad. You minimize the damage. Phillips does his job, gets the run home. But if you get out of this with allowing just one, still in the ball game, still have a chance.
You talk about the double play. Well, it's still in order, and with Devin Mesoraco up, a catcher coming off of hip surgery, you got a chance. Get a ground ball. And strike one. Just trying to hang around. These Reds have swung the bat well in the first week of the season. Now ball and a strike. The Reds were 4-0 last year, sweeping the Pirates and then winning the first game against the Cardinals. Still won only 64 the whole year, though. That's outside 2-1. What do you think about getting off to a fast start? We heard that all throughout spring training. The Pirates are doing that.
Especially offensively, nice to see.
There's a strike. Now 2-2 on Mesoraco.
Pirates, they got, pitching wise, pitched well early last year. Offense struggled as pitch called a strike. There it is.
There's one.
Nicely done.
And there's two, the double play. So Liriano with the bases loaded and nobody out. The Reds settle for one.
It's time for the Toyota RAV4th inning. The all-wheel drive RAV Hybrid has performance that will make you rethink hybrid. Let's go Bucks!
And we're through 3 innings tonight here in Cincinnati. The rain's held off for the most part. Pirates faithful making their way in from Pittsburgh. Not a bad ride in. Pirates, though, trail 3-1. Trying to go to 4-0. Both teams are. And of course, you know, what else would we expect here to begin this season in the NL Central? Got 3 teams at 3-0.
Yeah. Not normal to see the Cardinals on the bottom.
Yeah, 0-3. Brewers 1-2, and then these Reds, the Cubs, who are in Arizona tonight without Kyle Schwarber for the rest of the season. Two other undefeateds, the Orioles and Tigers, who won today. Now Polanco down 2 strikes. Harrison out on deck. And Polanco has struck out a couple of times against Simon. Here comes Josh Harrison. Here comes some tweets from Point Park University, and look at that. Colleen loves Josh Harrison playing ball. He that's a good word. Oozes it. Swaggy says great heads up play. That was Jordan Price saying the same thing on Josh Harrison.
Jay Hay doesn't complain very often. Didn't like that call. Breaking ball looked to be off the plate away. And there it is, way off the plate.
And now he's down 2 strikes. Now he has played great. You know, these 4 games. I know it sounds cliche. Well, it doesn't show up in the box score. Well, actually, some of what he has done does show up in the box score. Some of those productive outs that he's made that do cost him an at bat, but moving a runner over, getting a runner in. Suarez with a second out.
And he's already taken away 3 hits tonight.
Yeah, great plays in the field.
The diving play against Votto, the bunt from Hamilton that made a great play on, and then the other bunt that almost rolled back into fair territory.
It just proves that everything that you see on Twitter is true. They're all right. 3 of them. Jordy Mercer, base hit, score. The Pirates run back into second. Off to a good start. 3-3-3. Alfredo Simon tonight. This, you know, we saw him back in Indianapolis in the final exhibition, and you know, sure, it's a tune-up affair and a very windy day.
What was that? Ephus?
I was just going to say he's been changing speeds pretty well tonight, but I didn't expect to see anything like that. Hello.
You know, there was no arm speed, and I don't know if he was messing around there or if that ball just slipped out of his hand. I mean, hard to think it slipped out of his hand because there was no arm speed. I mean, it wasn't like the arm action we've seen so far tonight.
It wasn't quite Dave LaRoche, but
the lob.
Phillips, a tough play. That's going to be another base hit. Jordy Mercer is 2 for 2. And now here comes. Let's see this. Yeah, even if he gets that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's going to be tough.
He can make some spectacular plays. Obviously very flashy. and he had to do everything very quickly to have a chance. Obviously, not a good exchange from glove to hand.
Now here comes the man who drove in the run tonight. Liriano with that double right up the first base line.
Liriano taking all the way, probably thinking, no way I'm going to get another first pitch fastball.
And he did.
Yep.
The cat and mouse game, huh? Pitcher and hitter. What will he throw next? It doesn't matter. A base hit for Liriano. Well, he went off speed, and Liriano, like any good hitter, takes the ball the other way. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it looked like a breaking ball, a cue shot. Looked like right off the end of the bat, and just cued it over there. It had some spin on it, but well placed. I don't know if I can go that far to say that that was the intention. He saw the breaking ball and reacted and thought, "Oh, I'll just slap this in the left." But a couple more base runners for John Jaso.
And Liriano now batting .750. If you hit over 700, you get to wear a warm-up jacket on the bases. I think that's the rule.
Jaso a victim back in the second with these with Liriano on second base, and had one of those at bats we've seen a number of the guys have tonight, where just kind of an uncomfortable looking at bat, picking the ball up late, taking some bad swings. We haven't seen that at all from Jaso in spring training or the opening series. But a favorable count here.
A guy with a discerning eye at the plate. Simon up to 70 pitches here in the fourth. Pirates started a 2-out rally in the second inning with the 8 and 9 hitters. They're doing so again here in the fourth. (2-0) to Jaso, and a strike.
Jaso, the awkward stance, that right leg will end up behind the left leg.
Is that so he can see better and see the pitch come in? Here's the 2-1. Looped into foul ground, and Suarez is out of room. That just snuck out of play.
That's a question we'll have to ask John Jaso. I don't think, it shouldn't help him see any better. I just think it's a,
you have the two eyes.
I don't have
facing.
Yeah, well,
Jeff Branson might know.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask him tomorrow. Find out.
Yeah, I'm not. I just, you don't see it. I haven't seen it. I don't have an explanation as to why you do it. A lot of guys have their stances.
Could be comfort, right?
Their stances open, and their stride takes them towards the plate instead of, certain guys are opened up because their stride will take them towards the plate, so they won't lunge, so they don't jump at the ball.
Popped him up again. This one's going to stay in play, though. It looks like. Nope, that'll get out of room too. Wow, I thought both of those might stay in, but some good fortune with a little bit of a breeze here tonight.
Rocco trying to finish the inning, but ran out of room.
Blue collar Punxsutawney kid.
The key is for Jaso with anybody, as long as that foot gets down early enough, as long as that foot's down, the hands will be back in a strong position, and if you get into that position early enough, you can hit.
Good take, draws it full.
Just see as he takes the pitch. I mean, he's set up just like everybody else. Feet are wide, square, balanced. Everything's ready to go.
Well, the runners will be on the move after Mesoraco has his chat. That's a big moment here early in the ball game. A 2-out chance here.
You think he'd get a pretty good pitch to hit here with Andrew McCutchen waiting on deck. Certainly Simon doesn't want to walk Jaso and give McCutchen a bases loaded opportunity.
Skied to right and foul ground. Enough room for Votto. 2 hits, 2 left. It's still 3-1 Cincinnati. Inside Pirates baseball, the Pirates are on the leading edge of baseball's shift in becoming a world game. Plus, Rick Sofield shines on the mic once again. That and more on Inside Pirates baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, tomorrow after postgame, right here on Root Sports. They did a little work on the mound there on our UPMC scoreboard. Reds on top right now, 3-1 in the 4th. To get the mound right. We've seen some rain and sleet earlier on. And Point Park tweets. Frankie Rakes helps out his own cause. Yeah, Liriano is the early favorite at 750. Might get that Silver Slugger. He keeps that up. Could he play every day? Now they've rarely seen that, but in olden days, yeah, the pitchers. Back when these Cincinnati Red Stockings came into being, maybe in the 19th century, those pitchers, yeah, you only had 9 players on a team, so yeah, play every day. Not lately, though.
Not lately.
Jay Bruce will start things for the Reds. Reading something today. Noted baseball historian John Thorne was saying about how we have always been told Alexander Cartwright was the founder of baseball, right? And that one hits Bruce. But we were told that there's actually baseball was founded 3 years before that.
Oh, how about that?
Oh, in the ribs too.
Yeah, that doesn't feel good. As Marte could tell you, got one in the ribs against the Cardinals. And David Freese, for that matter, got one up high. Back in the first.
There's a base hit for Duvall. And Bruce is going to try for third. He'll get in.
And once again, base runners for these Reds. Off-speed pitch. Duvall does a good job staying back, keeping the hands back. The breaking ball left up, a little bit off the end of the bat, which allows Marte to get over there and cut it off. But Jay Bruce going with the crack of the bat. No chance in gunning him down at third, but a good job by Marte keeping the batter, Duvall, at first. So the double play is in order. We do have Simon, the pitcher, up though, and I'm sure will be called upon to bunt.
And that is a fair ball and a good read. Duvall took off. Didn't wait to find out what Andy Fletcher had to say.
Off the plate. And Cervelli catches it about a foot out front, checks on the runner Bruce. The ball bunted high enough to where he didn't have a play at second base, but got the out.
Yeah, otherwise, I mean, you put a ball right in front of home plate like that. Oh, that's a heap of trouble. And instead, high fives. Hamilton.
That's where you look for the strikeout. Good start, getting ahead 0-1. Pirates are playing the middle infield back. They will concede a run. At least up the middle, they're back.
Jaso came toward home plate, and Freese worked his way in from third as well on that last one. And 2 balls and a strike. I mean, if you're thinking squeeze here with a guy who does know how to bunt, we've seen that already tonight, but he could be bunting for a base hit. He doesn't have to necessarily squeeze. You can put the safety on. I think that's what the Pirates are thinking is possible. Just missed. Now 3-1.
And again, you know, these are pitches a lot of nights, most nights. Liriano gets swings at these pitches, and the Reds are doing a good job of laying off.
That one's up and in. Liriano has walked 4 tonight. And the base is full of Reds for Zach Cozart.
And once again, Ray Searage going to pay a visit.
Well, you do set up the double play. It can't get you out of the inning that way. And there's activity. Ryan Vogelsong yet to make his season debut with the Pirates. I saw Lupke up in the third.
Hopefully had an idea to get a ground ball, get another inning-ending double play, keep this a 2-run game.
Liriano walked the tightrope in that Cardinal affair. Got out of a couple of bases loaded jams in that one unscathed. Ball 1 to Cozart. Reds had bases loaded, nobody out last inning. And if you can limit it to just 1 run, as he did, that's a victory. But here a chance to get out of it with a 0. And you need a strike in there. Now it's 2-0.
And again, they're laying off some of these pitches. Liriano, does he feel forced to throw a fastball here in this fastball count? Oftentimes he doesn't.
Ooh, ball 3. And now there's nowhere to put him. And a strike. Key point in this ball game. Keep it close. What, me worry? 3-1. And strike 2.
And there he goes. The slider drops it in there. Looked like Cozart may have been taking all the way. And no telling what he gets here.
Safe to say a strike of some sort.
You hope.
3-2. And a foul back. Thrown the fastball.
Came right at him. On the hands, tied him up. See Cervelli setting up inside. Meant to be inside. It ended up down the middle, but that's okay. Bases are full. Nowhere to put them.
Another 3-2. This might be 2. There's 1. There's 2. A double play.
Beautiful.
The Flying Walendas have nothing on Francisco Liriano. Walking the tightrope again, getting out of the bases loaded jam. An accomplishment for a guy who wasn't even necessarily going to start the year. Remember, Jose Reyes is only out because of the proceedings that he has and in his personal life, and so baseball putting him on paid leave, and so Rockies need a shortstop. They trade Tulowitzki, and Trevor Story comes in and he sets the baseball world on fire this first week.
It's It's amazing.
Suarez has trouble getting it out, and McCutchen reaches to start the 5th.
Let's take advantage. I think Suarez had time if he was able to get it out of the glove. We'll see how they rule it. But with Andrew's speed, any kind of double pump or hesitation, you're not going to get him, and will be ruled an error.
19 errors last year for Suarez, who was the fill-in shortstop. They moved him to 3rd this year with Cozart back and Frazier traded. And McCutchen aboard. Second leadoff man on for the Buccos. And David Freese.
Huge double play. David Freese. 2 big ones each of the last couple of innings on defense. Keeping the ball game close. One swing of the bat could tie things up.
Yeah, isn't that how funny how baseball works? You know, the Reds load the bases last couple of innings. They get 1 run out of it. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 3rd. Score 1. Bases loaded, 1 out. In the 4th, nothing. Pirates could storm right back right here. Here's the 1-0. Now 2-0. You know, the 3rd time around the order, shy of aces. A lot of starting pitchers, this is where you start to go, okay, let's see if they can still maintain this, even though it's just the 5th inning.
Certainly, everybody on the Pirates and the Pirates lineup know what Simon has to offer. But again, another late swing on a Simon offering.
And what's so unusual is that a lot of these guys got an at bat, and maybe 2 against Simon in that exhibition game 6 days ago.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely a different look from Simon tonight. And again, it's something to do with the release point or not being able to pick it up.
3 balls at a strike. And they may be trying to employ the same approach that the Reds have been against Liriano. It seems like a little bit more patient here this inning.
Figuring he'll get a fastball here. Got one 2-0, now 3-1. See if he can get the barrel head out. No, not a strike. Well outside.
So 2 men aboard to start the 5th. And here's our day automotive. This day in Pirates history. It comes in 2002 when the Pirates hosted these Reds in the home opener and came away with a 1-0 victory. The first opening day win in 9 years. Ron Vallone, Mike Fetters, and Mike Williams combining for the 4-hit shutout. The lone run on an Aramis Ramirez sacrifice fly, scoring Brian Giles. Saw Elmer Descends' name in there too. Those are some blasts from the past. Aramis Ramirez just retiring this past offseason. And he's hit with the pitch. Marte aboard, and the Bucks with the bases loaded.
I'll see if the Pirates can cash in again. Traffic on the bases, more opportunities. Big one here. Nobody out. Maybe clip that arm guard, maybe the forearm. Nothing new to Marte. An error, a walk, a hit batter.
Mark Riggins coming out for a mound chat. Well, now we were talking about this earlier about how, you know, both teams have done a great job of limiting the other teams with runners in scoring position. A big reason why both teams are 3-0. The Pirates have done that here tonight. Now this is the opportunity for the Reds to limit the damage.
At least you know, you got to get one of these guys home, whether it be a sac fly, ground ball, who knows. At most, you break it open. You hit a gapper here. Gapper will at least tie it. Give Polanco a great opportunity. Cervelli getting opportunities, hitting in the middle of this lineup, batting 5th, 3 RBIs, first 3 games.
Hard hit on the ground to Cozart. They'll get 1.
It's a heck of a play. It's a heck of a play by Cozart. You wonder if he has a chance at second base, but wisely doesn't go to second. A good play by Suarez as well. Suarez does not go after the ball, retreats immediately, gets to the bag at third. And maybe the only play the Reds had. But a second run.
McCutchen is in. 3-2 now. Cozart taking that play in front of him. And now Gregory Polanco, and Simon's gotten him swinging out of the zone a couple of times tonight.
And again, he's got some chases a la Liriano.
And strike 1. Going off speed. Now Polanco coming into tonight tied for the lead in walks in baseball. He's walked 5 times in the first 3 games. So we know that plate discipline is there. And now even. With Marte on its second, a base hit here could tie it. Stop by Mesoraco, makes it 2-1 though.
Simon with the split, trying to get a chase, nothing doing.
Look at that pitch count now, 87 for Simon.
Good job by the Reds backstop.
Kid from Punxsutawney, Devin Mesoraco, said he's gonna move to Gibsonia pretty soon. Get a place there. Sign a nice long-term deal, so a little bit closer to Pittsburgh. Now 3-1. Brian Price with that wry smile. Now Caleb Cotham getting loose. Looped foul.
A little off the end of the bat. The pitch may have been off the plate away.
Well, the Pirates still don't have a hit in this inning. An error, a walk, and a hit batter. Run across. Three-two. Ooh, he struck him out. Third time tonight. Simon has Polanco's number here.
Yeah, that split, and they tried to get him to chase it earlier in the count. Now 3-2. Polanco guessing fastball, doesn't get it, and is way out in front of that one.
And now a 2-out chance for Josh Harrison. Got a run. And strike 1. Both teams trying to go to 4-0 to start the year. Runners go. on the ground to third and bobbled by Suarez. And Marte caught off third, and that'll end the inning.
Boy, that's a big break there for the Pirates, you think, until Marte gets caught in no man's land. Cozart does a good job picking up his teammate.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the all-new Chevy Malibu and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Barrel. Visit our brand new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. Let's go Bucks!
Bottom of the fifth inning. And 3-2, the Reds keep their lead. Starling Marte tagged out to end that fifth inning.
Yeah, Marte going on the pitch. Obviously, they weren't covering as Suarez was in a position to make the play. The bobble, Marte, the wide turn around third. Zach Cozart does a good job. You see Marte, as he turns around, he sees the bobble. And thought maybe it would trickle far enough away to where maybe he'd have a chance to score. Not too far off.
And that there was ruled an error, so 2 errors in the inning. Reds have committed 3 errors tonight, and the Pirates, without the aid of a hit, played a run. Past Freeze, but Mercer there to get the out.
What a play, Jordy. And Francisco likes it. A quick out. He hasn't had many of those tonight. Been a lot of long innings from Liriano. This bad hop comes up, almost gets Freeze in the head.
He might have touched something. Yeah, I think he deflected it. You know, the old 5-6-3. Got a strike to Joey Votto. David Freeze, a busy guy tonight. Even when he's not making the play, he's helping out the guy behind him. Well, you're right. Liriano has not had a lot of quick outs. He did mow through the Reds' bottom of the order in the second. Got a strike. But otherwise, he's had the bases loaded each of the last 2 innings, and in the first inning gave up a pair of runs. Phillips a home run. Strike 3 call. And the third strikeout for Liriano.
good eye. You see the UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone, all around the edges. Maybe getting a call. That pitch may be a hair off. Not much of an argument from Votto, but you can tell he didn't like it. But 2 quick ones here in the 5th.
Brandon Phillips has driven in a pair tonight with that home run and a sac fly. 3-2 Cincinnati in the 5th. And Phillips is over the flu indeed.
Not wasting any time. We mentioned the patient approach, guys. Not chasing some of the Liriano offerings, but I think Brandon Phillips maybe has seen 4 pitches. 4 or 5 at the most.
Devin Mesoraco walked and bounced into that inning-ending double play in the 3rd. The 0-1, and it squirts between the legs of Cervelli.
Another ball in the dirt, and this time Cervelli didn't get the glove all the way to the dirt, and it just sneaks by. He was anticipating that ball bouncing up. Just got the end of the leather.
Ruled a wild pitch. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Mesoraco got the day off yesterday. Had hip surgery out most of the year last year. Trying to ease him back a little bit. Just missed 3-1. Liriano has thrown 43 balls and 45 strikes. And a good pitch, 3-2.
And that's what we're used to seeing. Chasing that pitch out of the zone. Mesoraco anticipating fastball.
Phillips at second with 2 outs. 3-2 pitch. He's running and a swing and a grounder right to Freese. And here comes Phillips. The throw, and they got him.
Boy, what a play.
Heads up play from Jordy Mercer. And the Pirates get him out of the inning. Wow. I got your back, kid.
Boy, that's a couple of crazy plays here in this 5th inning. One to end the top of the 5th, this one to end the bottom of the 5th, just in time.
2-2 Reds. It stayed that way because of some fine plays from Jordy Mercer.
Pretty crazy stuff, you know. At the beginning of the inning, it was a 5-6-3. Mercer backing up Freeze. This one, the 5-6-2. Mercer barehanding, knew he had to be quick. Brandon Phillips without hesitating. It was worth the risk. He sees the boot, thinks, why not? Mercer. It's a heck of a play.
Yeah, you can't blame Phillips running on the pitch, which was surprising enough to begin with, and then comes hurtling home. And that's another thing that's interesting about, again, the end of the bottom of the, or the top of the fifth, the end of the bottom of the fifth. But in both instances, the runner's breaking from second to third. In both instances, the third baseman not covering the bag. They were basically giving them the bag. And a lot of times they will steal third with 2 outs just to open up that hole on the left side, hoping the third baseman will vacate, cover the bag, and then you have a big hole to hit the ball through. But in both cases, the Reds and the Pirates keeping their third baseman home as Caleb Cotham takes the hill. 12 games a year ago, 1-0, 6.52 ERA. Part of the deal that sent Aroldis Chapman to the Yankees.
For a reliever, I would say nowadays a below average velocity, average 92.5 miles per hour. Has a slider and a curveball as well.
Anybody that's ever done the speed pitch will tell you that that's above average, but yeah, Major League Baseball, yeah.
And in the bullpens nowadays, yeah, as you see, Cole Figueroa.
We're going to see Garrett Cole tomorrow night for our first look at him. That'll be our first look at this Cole. Now 2-2 on Mercer. Two singles tonight. And Mercer thought he was struck out.
And Mesoraco thought he was struck out, and not getting the call, Cotham. And you'll see another breaking ball, bunch of sliders, and at the bottom of the zone. Oh my goodness, better be swinging it.
3-2, and that time Mercer sells it, goes right down to first base. Mercer glad to get that walk. Now this will be Cole Figueroa batting for Liriano.
We'll see if Clint Hurdle opts to go with a little small ball here, perhaps a sacrifice, maybe a hit and run. I guess he'll be squaring on the first pitch.
And Sundays are Kids Days at PNC Park. All kids 14 and younger receive a kid-friendly Pirates item at Sunday matinee games. Get to the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone on Federal Street before the game, and after the game, kids run the bases, courtesy of the original Pizza Logs. For tickets, go to Pirates.com. First look at Cole Figueroa making his Pirate debut. .235 in brief big league action with the Rays and Yankees. Made the ball club out of spring training as a non-roster invitee. The Pirates took 3 of those guys: Matt Joyce, Corey Luebke, and Figueroa. And Ryan Vogelsong, who we've yet to see this time around in a Pirates uniform. He is getting loose. One and caught. Suarez makes the first out.
Either a cutter or a slider coming in on the hands of Figueroa.
Gotham will work to John Jaso, and there's a strike. So Liriano tonight, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 3. And down and in, a ball and a strike. Jaso drew a walk to start the game.
So Gotham throw a bunch of sliders to Jordy Mercer. Started Jaso with a fastball, the 0-1 pitch a slider. See that big hole on that right side? You throw a lefty a slider, leave it on the plate. A lot of those will run right through that hole.
1-1 up the middle. And they get the 1-6-3 double play. Bottom of the 6th coming up, still 3-2 Cincinnati. Friday Night Rocks here in Cincinnati, and the Pirates though trail it 3-2 as we start the bottom of the 6th. Glad you're with us here on this Friday night. See if the Pirates can stay undefeated. I'll turn it over to Ryan Vogelsong.
Last year, starting with the Giants, 9-11, 4.67 ERA, 135 innings pitched, 108 strikeouts, 58 walks. Trying to keep this a one-run ball game, battle of the bullpens. Anytime there's a battle of the bullpens, you like the Pirates' chances.
Now, they've been so good this year, as they were last year. Ryan Vogelsong, of course, a Pirate earlier in his career.
A Giant, a Pirate, a Giant, a Pirate.
Played in Japan. He's had a storied career too.
He's going to rely on location, changing speeds, try to keep the ball down, try to get ground balls.
Bruce takes a strike.
Pretty good pitch there, two-seamer.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Ooh, just missed.
just a bit low. Cervelli, as always, does a good job of making it look better.
He fooled me. 3-2. And underneath Freese's glove on the shift. And Jay Bruce is aboard to start the 6th inning. And Ryan Vogelsong has been in a lot of different places. Started in the big leagues with the Giants, and almost a teammate of yours, Rock, with the Pirates, coming over there in 01, and was trying to still find his way early in his career. And Hanshin and Oryx in Japan got him right. And then that all-star season with the Giants, won a couple of World Series as well. Now back with the Buccos. Now, were you guys were not teammates, but very close, right? He was in the organization when you played for the Pirates?
No, he got traded to the Pirates about a week after I got released.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm sorry to bring up old stuff.
no, these are just facts. Facts of life.
Is there anybody still playing that you were teammates with?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I don't know.
Arroyo?
I don't
If
know.
he comes back, if he
plays,
he can be healthy again. Bronson Arroyo. You're not old.
I didn't say I was.
Duvall takes a strike.
It's all relative. It depends. If I was in a room in a senior citizen center, I would not be old. If I was in a room of kindergarten kids, I'd be old. It's all relative. And I'm not afraid of age.
Ryan,
It's facts of life.
you're looking good. I'm trying to compliment you here. You're looking good. Ryan Vogelsong is the old guy on the bunch with the Pirates. He's the oldest Pirates player at the moment.
Looking for another ground ball. We've gotten a whole bunch of them here tonight. Kind of some crazy plays, especially on the left side of the infield for both teams. And again, Vogelsong trying to stay out of the middle of the plate, work the edges. Not happy that he did not get that last call. See there, just off the plate.
And ball 4 to Duvall. So the Reds again with something brewing here, and Jordan Pacheco will come up and pinch hit. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD and more than 400 supported devices, and includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Pacheco pinch hitting for Cotham, the pitcher. Cotham went an inning picking up for Alfredo Simon. So Vogelsong, who had a great run last year over a 3.5-month stretch with the Giants. Down low, ball 2. Trying to see if he can do that out of the bullpen this year. He was ERA in the low 3s during that stretch where he appeared both as a starter and out of the bullpen. Showed a long period of time where he still had what has made him an all-star in his career. Swing and a miss.
And upstairs at 91.
Age is just a number, and Ray Searage, who worked with him back in the minor leagues, Vogelsong's first time around, was up again.
Yeah, about that. Normally likes to stay down, but too high fastballs.
Ryan Price has seen some opportunities go by the wayside. Liriano pitched out of a couple bases loaded jams. 2 on, nobody out. 2-2. And McCutchen able to get there shy of the track. And no play at second as Duvall stayed on the bag. They move up on the fly ball by Pacheco.
Reaching out, that ball kept carrying. A little bit of a breeze going out to center field.
Now look at that. Did he get the hand back on the bag in time? I don't know.
Almost. Pretty close, at least.
Really good vantage point from our camera folks here to see that, but not enough for the Pirates to elect a challenge. Might have got that hand back in time, but a close play. Infield in, and strike one to Billy Hamilton.
Not quite. Good idea though, but
shows you how close the game is.
Now the Pirates with the infield in. Back in the fourth. Similar situation with Hamilton. Second and third. Exact same situation. The Pirates infield, middle infield is back. But now knowing later in the game, looking to face the back end of the Reds bullpen, Clint Hurdle doesn't want to give up any more, hoping to keep the ball on the ground here or get a strike out of Hamilton. Try to wiggle out of another jam.
Two one. Past Freeze, and that'll get a run in. Duvall will be held at third. Billy Hamilton adds to the Reds' lead. It's 4-2.
Breaking ball, that's good hitting. You're hoping as a pitcher that you throw that breaking ball and then he is out in front and hooks it, hits it off the end of the bat to one of your infielders. But Hamilton keeps the hands back, slaps it the other way. That's a big run for the Reds.
Four to two now. Duvall at third, with Hamilton aboard at first for Zach Cozart. Remember, Hamilton can run. Just something else to pay attention to here. Might try to stay out of a double play by doing so. He's running the 1-0, and it's bobbled by Cervelli. There's no chance. First steal for Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, Cervelli was not going to throw through to second base. And as soon as he catches it, he comes up looking down third base way.
Infield in, the 1-1. In tight 2-1. And they do that sometimes because they fear the runner at third is going to come home on the throw.
They do that because it's Billy Hamilton at first and figure they didn't have a great chance of throwing him out. You know, that part of it.
2-1. Freese will come home, and now Duvall is in a rundown. And he's out, but that moves the runners up 5-2 to 6. Hamilton to third and Cozart all the way to second base, just like you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, and yeah, another weird situation in terms of fairly routine as Freese comes up, makes the throw to Cervelli. Weird in that it was a 5-6-2 putout, but that's the way you draw it up, both defensively and offensively. Offensively, you know, you're going on the ground. You let them know that we're going on contact on a ball on the ground, and the hitter Cozart, it's his job. After he makes contact, disappointed, I'm sure he didn't get the run home, but he ended up on second. But doesn't matter. Reds get just one.
So the leadoff error comes around to score, and we're through 6. 4-2 Reds.
Park. Well, last night, Altoona, the Curve, kicked off their season with a game against Harrisburg and also with a tribute to their biggest fan. They retired the seat of Susie Milnick, who never missed a home game in the Curve's 17-year history. Susie passed away in January at the age of 73. She attended 1,223 consecutive games and was a fan favorite around the ballpark. She was honored in 2013 by the Curve when she attended her 1,000th consecutive game. As we get a chance to get a look at the seat that they retired, that is in section 311. So if anyone out there is at a Curve home game or ever attends one this season, make sure you stop by and check out a cool tribute to the best fan of the Pirates AA team. Joe and John.
That is a nice tribute to Susie. And while we have a moment too, I want to pass along our condolences to Jimmy Welsh and his family. Jimmy's been in the Pirates clubhouse for a long time, 45 years now. He lost his wife Irene recently, and want to pass along our deepest sympathies to Jimmy and he and his family after that tough loss. We look to Jumbo Diaz here to start the 7th. Working to Andrew McCutcheon. 0-for-3, got on an error and scored a run back in the 5th. And called a strike. Andy Fletcher having a cordial conversation. Sir, I beg to differ.
You see it just off the plate inside. That's the pitch as a hitter. They know the umpire is lined up on that inside corner, and so especially a guy like Andrew McCutchen has great awareness of what's a ball and what's a strike. And hitters expect the umpires not to miss the pitches that are on the inside part of the plate.
Here's the 0-2. Suarez. And Votto able to stay on the bag. Well, they call it the hot corner for a reason. It's been an interesting night for the men at third.
Yes, it has been. A few errors. Clint Hurdle came out of the dugout. I think maybe he was going to challenge it. As you see there, Votto just able to keep that toe on. No reaction from Nick Leyva at first base. That's usually pretty telling as to whether or not the runner was safe when rolled out.
Here's David Freese, who has done a whole bunch of stuff over at third tonight. He has started a couple of double plays. He's been involved in a 5-6-3 putout, a 5-6-2 play at the plate, and a 5-2-6 rundown at the plate.
It's been kind of a Bermuda's Triangle over there for both third basemen, getting a lot of action. 4 errors between the two.
And foul ball. Freese didn't agree with Kerwin Danley, but Freese is running down the line.
Borderline, you'll get a good look of it here.
Great angle.
Yeah, that's the top spin. That second hop really taking off to the foul ball side of third. As a third baseman, it's so close, you're going to throw it no matter what. You don't have time to wait to listen to the umpire's call.
1-2. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Freese. Jumbo Diaz spent a year in the Pirates system, AAA, 4 years ago. And he's a big guy, but he trimmed down a lot of weight to make himself more athletic, and made the major leagues because of it. That's low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tony Cingrani,
their only left-hander in the bullpen.
Pirates down the line have Polanco. (3-2), and Freese is down on strikes.
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't expecting anything off speed there. Diaz with the big arm, good velocity, full count. Figured for sure he was going to get a fastball. Got the slider. David Freese out in front.
So 2 away. The Pirates have not gone down 1-2-3 tonight. They've had some 2-out rallies. Marte 1 for 2. Singleton hit with a pitch. The Pirates with a 2-out rally in the second inning. Francisco Liriano with a run-scoring double. Liriano went 2 for 2 tonight. Gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. Pirates benefiting from a couple of errors in the 5th to play to run without a hit. Meanwhile, the Reds, having the bases loaded with nobody out in the third inning, scored once. Bases loaded, 1 out in the fourth, did not score. Liriano getting a couple of inning-ending double plays. Right now, the difference is that first inning.
A lot of opportunities for both sides. Plenty of runners left on base. The Pirates have left 8, the Reds 7.
Now the 2-1 to Marte. Now the winner will be 4-0. Two from Diaz. Marte. And he's going to beat it out.
And even the short-handed Brandon Phillips having issues. That's the second time he's gone to his backhand and trying to make a quick throw and unable to get a good handle on the ball. Well-placed grounder. And again, Phillips it would have been a tough play even for the Gold Glover, Brandon Phillips. As you see, Marte quickly out of the box as he was out in front. Should go as a hit.
It is. And now Francisco Cervelli drove in a run with a ground out back in the 5th. Marte running. And he's in there. First stolen base for Starling Marte.
Big jump. And another opportunity to get 1 run back. You see the big jump there. Diaz with a fairly high leg kick. Good effort by Mesoraco, but too late.
Oh, 2-0 on Cervelli.
Pirates looking for their first hit with a runner in scoring position tonight.
0 for 8. 3-0 now.
Boy, Cervelli had to be shocked by that. A 2-0 slider.
The Reds are only 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Polanco looking for another chance. He's had some opportunities.
Reds have had Cingrani warming the lefty. If it gets to Polanco next. 3-0. And ball 4 it will.
Wow. And that was a 3-0 slider from Diaz to Cervelli. He kind of backed up on him. And man, top of the corner or top of the strike zone, inside corner.
Now Polanco, a lefty coming up, and Brian Price coming out. That's going to be it for Jumbo Diaz tonight. Take a break here. It's still 4-2 Cincinnati.
the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
On the Nissan Road ahead tomorrow, Garrett Cole makes his season debut. And Raisel Iglesias, the opening day starter for the Reds. Coverage beginning tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Root Sports. Garrett Cole last year a 19-game winner.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been chomping at the bit. He can't wait to get out there. Probably a good thing it's a day game for Garrett and doesn't have to wait around all day.
Reds bringing in the lefty Tony Cingrani. 2 men on with 2 outs. Those are the tying runs with the Buccos down 2.
First pitch slider. Cingrani's one of those guys, as you see, he's made a couple of appearances, one in the 3rd innings, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. One of those guys that likes his fastball. He doesn't like light up the radar gun, but he's a guy that a lot of times will challenge hitters, both righties and lefties. Favorable count now for Gregory.
Polanco this year has faced lefties twice. He has walked and hit a sac fly after batting 190 against lefties last year. 2-0. 3-0.
Let's see what the strike zone says. Got it on the top of the zone.
And a 4-pitch walk to Polanco. Loads the bases here in the 7th.
And a couple of those pitches were close, and we showed one in the zone. And even this 3-0 pitch, not close or not far from being a strike, but where Mesoraco set up, had to reach back, and that certainly doesn't help the cause.
Here's Josh Harrison.
Jay Hay thinking that's down low. 94. Getting the call.
How about that first hit with runners in scoring position tonight?
This would be the perfect time to do it. Good chance you tie it up.
Now behind 2 strikes.
And again, no surprise, Cingrani. Challenging hitters. He's got that fastball. He's proud of it. He likes it. He throws it over 80% of the time to both righties and lefties. And now has pitches to waste against Josh Harrison.
Two-strike pitch, and it's inside. Gonna be choked up.
And you wonder, does he even want to go to the slider in this situation? Because if he bounces it, a good chance Marte would score. Well, he did go to it. He did bounce it, and he got the strikeout.
Big strikeout for Cingrani. And the Pirates strand the bases loaded in the 7th. been a heck of a week for the undefeated Pirates. But that moniker is in jeopardy as the Reds have the lead 4-2 as we start the bottom of the 7th. And we have been very lucky that the rain and sleet has pretty much held off tonight.
Not getting any warmer. Not getting any warmer tomorrow either.
That's all right.
It's be a nice day on Sunday.
Hey, it's always a nice day when you're at the ballpark. Votto deep to center, but McCutchen hauls it in front of that 404 marker. And here's who's bringing the lumber, brought to you by Yellowwood. Tonight, Brandon Phillips. Missed the last couple of games with the flu, and then shot that ball into center field. Singled sac fly tonight. I knew you were looking at the radar as soon as I said that.
Yeah. There's snow.
There's snow
approaching.
Yeah, snow out to the west. I was just looking at the same thing. But hopefully that will be after this contest is through. And I'll pull you on a sled down the way home. Easy for Ross Ollendorf to get loose, though. The old-timey delivery.
Yeah, Ross, one of the best. A real good guy. Team favorite as a Pirate.
Now the 2-1.
You don't see that very often. That's some guess hitting right there. Guess swinging, I should say. Is he kind of had to laugh. Look how far this ball bounces out in front of the plate. And that's just sometimes hitters are predetermined to swing.
Now full on Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips has been here a long time. Been here since the trade back in 2006. His 11th season with Cincinnati. Shows you how long he's been around. He was originally with the Montreal Expos. Never made it in the major leagues with the Expos, did Brandon Phillips. But remember when the Expos were kind of giving it the one last hurrah?
Oh yeah, old guys like me remember that stuff.
Oh yeah. I had to read it on the internet. I'm almost 40. I'm in the same boat as you. Who am I kidding? I've got my arthritis just flaring up right now. It feels like 31 degrees, Corey says. It's supposed to snow in an hour, but it's baseball season, and that makes me happy. Exactly right. Just dress for the weather. It's worth it, Allie. You're right.
As always, you get a lot of Pirate fans here in Cincinnati.
Saw them all around, walking around today.
Sure.
Even saw, oh, there's a good contingent right there.
Hoping for a comeback.
Now that's, you know, wearing the yellow ponchos, that's solid. Not only do I want coverage, I want team related coverage. want to still be in style. David Freese a busy guy tonight. And there's 2 gone now, and Jay Bruce is coming up. I don't usually count assists. Unofficially, I think that's 6 for Freese tonight.
Yeah, that's a bunch of them, and that ball taking him to his backhand, had to retreat a bit, so no play at the lead runner Phillips. Wisely threw over for the shore out.
Phillips heading to third, and it skips away from Cervelli. Phillips on his way home, and he's going to score.
Yeah, big lead, and then got some momentum, taking off. No hesitation. Another one that gets under Cervelli's glove.
And Jaso will take it himself. But the stolen base and the wild pitch yields another run for Cincinnati.
Sports is brought to you by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing, and by Levin Furniture, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
5-2 Cincinnati as we begin the eighth inning here on the UPMC scoreboard.
Brandon Phillips getting up there in years, but still running around the bases like a young man. It's Ross Ohlendorf a year ago, 21 games, a 3-1 record, 3.72 the ERA, just 19 in the third innings. Pretty much a strikeout per inning. League hit 273 against Ross.
Got that old-timey windup. Jordy Mercer tonight, 2 hits and a walk. Mercer to right, but not enough. And Jay Bruce gets the first out. And now if you look at that, the running man logo that the Reds used to have wore number 27. And Ohlendorf wears number 27. But for the longest time, the Reds would not allow players to wear number 27 because their logo was wearing number 27. So this is something that you've only seen recently. Remember Jose Rio? Mm-hmm. Well, he's the guy that finally broke through and got to wear number 27.
I just assumed it was a tribute to Kenta Colvin.
Matt Joyce, the pinch hitter, grounds out for the second out. Well, the reason was that the owner at the time, when the logo came out, he wouldn't allow that to happen because his son, this is Francis Dale, was the name of the principal owner at that time. He was a big Dal Maxville fan, utility Cardinals infielder, and he wore number 27. So the Reds would not allow players to wear that because his son loved number 27, and so the Reds logo wore 27. So Rio on that 1990 World Series team was the first guy since Francis Dale bought the ball club to finally wear that number, because it's a Independence Day in Dominican Republic, the 27th of February. It's a big number. Jaso, one better, wearing 28. But yeah, that's the Reds have had some interesting traditions, being the oldest ball club, right?
It sounds like it.
Always opening day for the longest time.
Yeah.
First pitch of the baseball season was thrown in Cincinnati, this year in Pittsburgh. No facial hair for the longest time. John Jaso would not like that.
I remember that.
And when Marge Schott owned the Reds.
Yeah, I remember when Dave Parker became a Red, and Dave Parker always had the beard. And wondered if there'd be any issues there, but
Raleigh Fingers was going to sign with Cincinnati toward the end of his career, and they said, nope, you got to take that handlebar mustache off. Wow. And Jaso plunked with a pitch. Third time tonight. Pirates hit by pitch.
I don't know how that did. I mean, watching it live, I thought it went through him. It was headed right for the belt area, and it looks like it just got a piece of the jersey.
So 2 out base runner for McCutchen. Trying to get the Pirates right back in this one. You know, the irony about the Reds never allowing facial hair is their mascot, Mr. Red with the big mustache, and then last year during the All-Star game, their logo all around Cincinnati was that old mustache, handlebar mustache. The great irony. Traditions in baseball, right? Mm-hmm. Reds around since 1869. And look at that. See, he's got that mustache.
He's happy.
Now, if Marge Schott was owning the club, he would not have a mustache.
Of course not.
Still be smiling, though. 3-1 as Jaso will take second on a wild pitch. So now in scoring position, the Pirates tonight 0 for 9. Runners at second and or third. They've stranded 11. Here's the guy to change it.
Good hitters count for Andrew, almost certainly to see a fastball here.
3-1. Ball 4.
Is that the 9th free pass, including hit batters?
Yeah, if you want to include hit batters, yeah, 6 walks, 3 hit batters tonight. The Reds have made 3 errors, and yet the Reds have the lead.
Yeah, the Pirates only able to push a couple across.
And a visit to the mound. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Joe West, he umpired his first major league game almost 40 years ago. Brandon Phillips, there's Joe West. Cowboy Joe, great recording artist, former Elon quarterback in the 70s.
Get up.
And Phillips can't get it out, and everyone will be safe.
Boy, that's a heck of a stop. Again, Phillips still able to cover some ground, and you know the flash. He probably has more time if he picks up a target and tries to flip it the second. He may end the inning, but he decides to do a no look behind the back flip instead. And then again with McCutcheon's speed, I don't think it would have mattered one way or the other. But again, it saves a run, and Pirates finally break through with a base hit with a runner in scoring position, but it does not produce a run.
But it extends the inning for Marte, and he'll face a new pitcher. And J.J. Hoover, native of Elizabeth, was getting up. Looks like a double switch. And we'll pause here with Hoover coming on. 5-2 Reds. And the Pirates threatening here in the 8th. A game here from Great American Ballpark. Our coverage begins at 12:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason, right here on Root Sports. Garrett Cole goes tomorrow.
I'm sure Chris Stewart will also be in the starting lineup.
And Tyler Holt now in the game in right field on that double switch.
J.J. Hoover, a solid season. Setup man, 8-2 record, 2.94 ERA.
Starling Marte takes ball one with the bases full of buccos. He is the go-ahead run here in the 8th. It'd be a great time for his first career grand slam.
Uh-oh.
Deep to left. Duvall back on it, and there it goes! Starling Marte hits a grand slam to left. And the Pirates have come all the way back. They lead it 6-5.
My goodness gracious, what a call, Joe, huh? What a call, what a great time. Finally, the Pirates with the big hit. a hanging breaking ball from Hoover, and he left it right down the middle. And Marte, as soon as it left his bat, he knew it.
And the Buccos battling back all night. Freeze with a hit to extend the inning. And what a souvenir. 6-5 Pirates.
Marte, look at that extension, and he's admiring it. He knew that you don't want to leave that slider there. Belt high, outer half.
Cervelli, rip and a miss. Well, all night long, the Pirates could not get that big hit. And none bigger than that one. Starling Marte with his third hit of the night, his first career grand slam.
That's one thing, you come into those situations, obviously one swing makes all the difference in the world, and if you're going to throw that pitch, that slider, you better miss with it off the plate, not up and on the plate.
First Pirate home run of the season. What a big time for it. Now full on Cervelli. Now Hoover a couple of years ago led all second, I should say, second among all relievers in home runs allowed, but last year rebounded very nicely. Posted an ERA under 3, native of Elizabeth. And what a time to rock on Friday night, as Starling Marte provides all the music you need. What a sweet sound that is. Marte with a grand slam to put the Pirates ahead. First of his career. Point Park tweets, and that's a grande Marte parte. Yes, indeed, Corey. Grand slam, which is Sweep the Cards, Drew. I like that. Well, they're going to try to sweep the Reds. That's no easy task either. First, they got to hold on to this one, and Starling Marte gives them a chance at least. First lead after the Reds scored twice in the first inning.
Well, that's the interesting thing about this lineup is they're going to get chances to get that big hit. Is Feliz his third appearance? Just a couple of innings, couple of strikeouts. No free passes, which has been a theme tonight. But yeah, this new look offense for the Pirates. I mean, I mentioned all the walks, a couple of hit batters, but the patient and plate appearances as Sean Rodriguez takes over at first for Jaso.
And Duvall out in front.
But you put runners on base in every inning. And again, there's been some frustration because they couldn't get the big hit until that top of the 8th inning. Marte. But the more opportunities you get, and we saw all the opportunities against the Cardinals in that series. And again, they didn't always come through, but the more opportunities you create, it's a different offense than sitting around waiting for a 3-run home run.
Totally agree.
Everybody keeps talking about the power. How are we going to replace the power? Now there's still power on this team, and guys will hit home runs, but guys will also get opportunities to drive in runs, and sooner or later that big hit will come, whether it be a gap shot, a base hit, or a grand slam by Starling Marte.
I mean, you said it. I firmly believe, and that was a great point. Yeah, the Pirates have had a base runner in every inning.
Yeah.
So even though they had started 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, that's 9 opportunities that they had. And a strike to Duvall.
And the team came into this game on just a 3-game series with a .390 on base percentage, which was awesome.
Lots of walks.
Yeah, not counting the errors, which don't count towards on-base percentage. But tonight, 17 base runners through 8 innings. That's a ton of base runners.
That means pitchers working under duress. A lot of times they can't work out of the windup. Sometimes that can matter. Now Blake Wood, the one-time Pirate farmhand, getting loose in the Cincinnati pen. And Duvall battling here.
Good fastball at 94. Feliz going without the long sleeves. Trying to keep that hand warm.
Another 3-2. Falling off 95. That's Tyler Holt, who came in the game on a double switch. A lot of young players on these Reds. Good night for the knit cap, especially for us without the hair. Duvall deep to left center, but should be room as McCutchen hauls that one in.
And Andrew with the ways to go, playing noticeably shallower this year. It started in spring training, even here with a one-run lead late, not playing deep, which we'll see a lot, protecting against the double. So the ball, even though it didn't quite get to the warning track, Andrew had a heck of a long way to go.
There's Tyler Holt. Holt a little time with the Reds last year. Cleveland. Very speedy, not a lot of power at all. Off speed.
Came up empty on the high fastball. The hanging breaking ball also swinging through it.
How about Clint Hurdle's trust in Neftali Feliz?
Yeah.
Pitching the 8th inning in 3 of the first 4 games. And he struck him out. And they throw him out.
That was straight swing mode. Holt swinging at everything thrown up there, but got Clint Hurdle back with the Rangers. Got to watch Feliz.
Great point. Great point. Forgot about that tie-in.
So obviously got to see a very young pitcher pitch very, very well.
Pirates on top because of the Starling Marte grand slam in the top half of this inning. Feliz on to protect it, facing the bottom of the order, and now Hamilton, the number 9 hitter. Strike 1. Yeah, Feliz, I caught him a couple of days ago. I asked him, hey, does that give you some confidence? He goes, absolutely it does. He already had some, but a little more confidence. Skip thinks I can pitch the 8th. Tony Watson's going to get a lot of those opportunities as well.
You figure closed in some very big games, did Feliz, so no stranger to the pressure of late inning action. Seven career saves, a .315 career ERA.
He was among the elite closers and even rebounded after Tommy John surgery. So it's not like we're talking about 5 years ago only. But last year had some issues, and that one's a little high. Had an abscess in his armpit, which doesn't sound like much, but that can really mess you up. And that slowed him down with Texas, and then ended up getting designated. Tigers picked him up and never got settled in. But he's still got the stuff. I mean, his slider is so much slower than his fastball that it almost can act as a change of pace too, can it?
Yeah, that's that was it right there. And actually, I don't know if Hamilton kind of double clutched, but it was a little late on the breaking ball, fouling it off over the third base dugout.
Ooh. Now full on Hamilton with the top of the order coming up. Pirates trying to go to 4-0. Zach Cozart hoping he gets a chance here in the 8th. Hamilton strikes out, and Neftali Feliz 1, 2, 3, 8th inning. Friday night rocks, and the Pirates The Common Heart Friday Night rocks. It does rock tonight. Pirates with that big grand slam by Marte. 6-5 leading here in the ninth.
Blake Wood, his second appearance, an inning, a walk, a punch out. Pirates looking to add on now, look for insurance. Hard throwing Blake Wood, righty at 96. The 0-1 pitch missing away.
One-time Pirate farmhand a year ago, pitched the whole season in Indy. Now with an opportunity to crack the Reds roster with all the injuries that they've had and rebuilding, and a chance to show his wares. There's Mark Melancon. He's pitched in every game this year. Nice to have some off days that first week of the year, huh?
Indeed.
Yeah, assuming he comes in, and that's a no-brainer. He'll have pitched in all four. However, off Monday, off yesterday.
Yep, and works out well. You know, if it's 4 straight games, probably shut down at least one of them.
Polanco into deep center field. Hamilton able to get it all the way at the track.
And just missed that one, did Gregory Polanco. Pretty good looking swing.
And now Josh Harrison. 0 for 4 tonight, but another couple of heady plays in the field. 3 really. Nice plays. We have been fortunate tonight that the precipitation has held off. Looking at I had to peek at the radar again. There might be some snow before we're through tonight. I'll tell you, the groundskeepers that work on these fields, I mean, every day you look at a beautiful field, the fans that come out in these games, especially the ones who travel all the way from Western Pennsylvania. Harrison underneath this one. 2 gone in the Pirates' ninth. I mean, we take it all for granted, but man, oh man, it's they have to deal with a lot, especially early in April.
Yeah. As mild as the winter's been, that's what's frustrating about the cold start to this. And
I'm glad I cut my lawn the other day, though.
yeah, got to deal with it.
It was the only day to do it. Jordy Mercer tonight, a big night, couple of hits, a walk. Starling Marte's grand slam, putting the Pirates ahead in the 8th.
And usually walks are killers. I mean, they'll come back to haunt you eventually. That took a while for the walks to cost the Reds a walk and a hit batter. With 2 outs, setting up the round tripper by Marte.
Now it looked like it was going to be an easy inning. David Freese extending the inning with that base hit. One from Wood. Now he's trying to go to 4-0 to start the year.
Jordy didn't like that last call, but just looked like it caught a piece of the corner.
Well, if the Pirates can hold on, they would be their first 4-0 start since 2003. 13 years ago. And And this group hungry for the next step. Trying to get off to a good start this year, and they are doing it. Yeah, remember the Pirates last year, 18-22 to start the year, and then were fantastic from there on out.
Best team in baseball.
No doubt. Record proved it.
Mercer's got a fastball. Good fastball hitter. See if he can get the barrel out. No, he was expecting the fastball, as was I. Got the breaking ball.
First time tonight the Pirates go down 1-2-3, and Mark Melancon coming on. It's 6-5. Starling Marte with the go-ahead grand slam in the 8th inning. The Pirates 3 outs away from going to 4-0, and they turn it over to the closer, Mark Melancon.
Who else would you like to have finish it up? Last year's saves leader, Melancon, his 4th appearance. Just the 1 save. For him, giving up a run this early in the year is odd. Usually so efficient and effortless.
That was on opening day, coming on with a 4-0 lead.
Yeah. So for him, those numbers are huge. An ERA almost 4, opponent average 300. And before long, it'll be ERA under 2. Opponent batting average in the low 2s.
And he'll face Cozart, Suarez, and then Votto due up the top of the order for the Reds. Here in the 9th, Pirates 3 outs away from starting the new year with 4 straight wins. Cozart 1 for 4. And 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 9th. Eugenio Suarez hit a ball deep to center field tonight. Clint Hurdle going with Ryan Vogelsong in relief of Liriano. Vogelsong in line for the win. Getting ahead with strike 1. Pirates were down 5-2 in the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on. Talk about that. You got 4 outs left down 3 and no one on base.
And again, free passes, hit batter, walk. Finally cost the Reds.
McCutchen with a leaping grab in center for out number 2.
And again, Andrew McCutchen playing a shallower center field. Gets a great break on this, and we'll see the great McCutchen speed. You see the break, the good angle. Reels it in.
Yeah, very good route, yes. But now Joey Votto. The last chance for the Reds here in the 9th. All 1. There was no one in baseball better last year than Melancon at limiting left-handed power.
Yeah, he's dominated left-handed batters, and he knows he doesn't want to leave anything up out over the plate to Votto. He's going to be careful and try to stay down on the edges.
(2-0) Rodriguez, and the ball game is over. And the Pirates come back 4 outs away, 4 runs across thanks to that grand slam, the first of his career from Starling Marte.
Boy, what a big win for the Pirates. Again, you think about, we're going to be talking post-game about wasted opportunities, and you know, was it the cold? What was it? They couldn't come through with the big hit, and then before you know it, they get that big hit. The one swing of the bat, Starling Marte. On a messy game, but cleans it up very nicely, does Marte. One swing of the bat turns everything around. 4-0 for your Buccos.
The Pirates on top in the NL Central, 4 games in. They win it 6-5 tonight. And let's send it back to the studios with Robin Teak.